attorney for Palm Beach County, Florida, and defense attorney Shan Wu. Let's start with you, Dave. Are you surprised Potter was found guilty on both charges?
I am a bit surprised, Wolf. I thought this was more of a second-degree manslaughter case, which would mean that prosecutors need to prove that Potter created an unreasonable risk and consciously took a chance of causing Duante Wright's death or serious bodily injury. And I'm not the only one, I think, who thought that. The prosecutors actually charged this as a second-degree manslaughter case, and only later in September did they upgrade it to a first-degree manslaughter case after urging from Duante Wright's family. And according to reports, the jury concluded this was second-degree manslaughter 2 days ago, and then only this morning did they decided that she was guilty of first-degree manslaughter. And I think what probably convinced them was the fact that she had extensive training on this taser as a veteran cop of 26 years, and also she held her gun for 6 seconds at Duante Wright. And I think they thought, well, that's beyond the pale, and she should have been convicted of the highest offense.
You know, Shan, the jury was in their fourth day of deliberations today when they finally handed down this verdict. They had previously asked the judge, and it caused some interest out there, what they should do if they could not come to a consensus. It seems like this was a rather tough decision for those 12 men and women.
I think that's right, and I think we should expect that it was a tough decision. This was a difficult case. You have somebody expressing what seems to be remorse and shock at what happened, but this jury was working very steadily at the case. And I agree with Dave. I also had thought it was likely there'd be the second-degree conviction. However, I think it was significant that they're asking to examine the weapons at issue. And I think that that whole time that she had the weapon, her training, that jury getting to handle that weapon, the taser, may have made a difference as well.
You know, Dave, Potter took the stand in her own defense, and all of us saw either live or on tape when she broke down several times as she recounted what happened during that fatal traffic stop. What impact do you think her testimony, her emotion had on the jury?
Well, the defense counsel rolled the dice and put her on the stand because they thought they could appeal to the jurors' hearts, whereas the prosecution was appealing to their heads, that, look, the elements of the crime have been met here. She broke down on the stand, and that could have led to sympathy because that's consistent with the way she acted after she shot Duante Wright. She was very upset. She said, I'm going to jail. Mind you, she didn't try to help Duante Wright, and that could have come back to haunt her. Another way her testimony could have haunted her is just that she was so upset that the jury may have thought she should not be a police officer. She's not the kind of person who should be handling a gun. And so in the end, it could have come back to hurt her that she testified, and now she's facing up to 15 years in prison.
Potentially 15 years for the first degree and another 10 maybe for the second degree, although given the fact she has no criminal record, it could be reduced. Adrian, you're there in Minnesota. You've been covering the trial, and you've been doing an excellent job for us the whole time. What's the reaction you're getting now from community members as news of this verdict sinks in?
As soon as the verdict was read, there was a loud applause outside of the courtroom. Members of the community are speaking right now in Brooklyn Center at City Hall. This is the same group of people who pushed for the firing of Kim Potter as soon as they learned she had shot and killed Duante Wright. People are relieved, but there is also a sense of sadness. They want this to come to an end. I spoke with one activist after the verdict was read, and he said this is a measure of accountability. And words matter. People in this community, as well as the Wright family, are choosing and using their words carefully. They're not saying justice. They're talking about accountability. And they feel this officer who had 26 years of experience, who was qualified or certified to use that taser back in 2019, was held accountable today. And they all go back to this, Wolf, a car freshener.
Yeah, that's why that traffic stop occurred in the first place. Shan, as you know, the defense lawyers asked that she be released on bail awaiting sentencing. The prosecution said they want her behind bars. The judge said, yes, she's got to be behind bars right now. Were you surprised by that?
No, I wasn't, Wolf. Not surprised either by the request not to have her held pending sentencing, nor surprised by the judge refusing that. Once you're convicted beyond a reasonable doubt, the tables turn, it's different. And for a person who's been convicted of taking another person's life, it would be normal for them to be detained. But understandable that defense counsel would ask for that. I think the lesson here for society at large is hopefully we're beginning to see the justice system treating police officers just like everybody else. They should be given just as much fairness as everyone else, but nothing special in terms of giving them extra luxuries, extra benefits of the doubt once they've been convicted.
And she was convicted on 2 charges. Today, we'll see in February how long she has to serve in jail. In the meantime, she is in jail right now. Shan, Dave Ehrenberg, Adrian Broadus, guys, thank you very, very much. Coming up, there's more news.